Hey everybody, Cathy here from Whole Home and Body Health, and today I'm going to test what is called a low EMF baby monitor. So I was sent this Bebcare baby monitor to test to look at the radio frequency emissions. So when I'm in homes, one of the most powerful things that I test is actually baby monitors. And of course, that's kind of heartbreaking because we're putting them next to our infants. So sometimes I will get into the hundreds of thousands of microwatts per square meter on these baby monitors. And like I said, they're extremely high, both the parent unit and the unit that goes in the kids' rooms. So Bebcare is a company that has made some intentionally low emission monitors. So I'm just gonna hook it up and see what we find, and I'm going to be using my Safe and Sound Pro 2 to measure the output. Okay, so I'm going to set up my monitor here. So this is the parent unit, and then I've got the unit that goes into the child's room, and I'm just going to hook this up. The box comes with a little stand, which is kind of nice. So you can put the monitor on and then the power cords. So when I was speaking to the company about this unit, there was some features that were pretty cool to me. So you can charge it. It's got a rechargeable battery, which lasts apparently up to 65 hours, which is kind of great. The sensor has a vibration. So if the baby moves, it will both vibrate and you will hear the noise. So this one, I should say, it's only noise activated. This is not a monitor, video monitor, it's only noise. They do have a video monitor, but it is apparently a little bit higher in emissions. So if you only want the noise, this one is better for the lower emissions. This unit apparently can project stars onto the wall or the ceiling, which is kind of cool. There's a two-way talk, so you can talk to your baby and hear. You charge it with the USB. It's small enough you could travel with it, which I kind of like. It does have a temperature sensor on it. So yeah, a lot of cool things. The range is apparently about 2,000 square feet. So if you had to have it outside, if you're in a smaller area, that's great too. Okay, so I'm going to set this up and then we're going to test it. Okay, so let's just get a background level in here to see what our background levels are before we set up the unit. I'm getting around 280 microwatts per square meter. So that's going to be level that we are comparing to when we set up the unit. Now there is a little background level in here because we've got cell towers in the distance and a neighbor has Wi-Fi. So otherwise there are no devices in this residence, so we will get a comparison. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and test the unit as it's all set up. It was pretty easy to do, just kind of a plug and play thing, very easily connected. I've got a podcast playing, which is what I'm hearing coming through, and I'm hearing it just fine. So now we're going to see what kind of levels we're getting from the monitor. All right, so right here my levels are around 90 to 150 microwatts per square meter, about the same as the background levels that we had before. So I'm not getting too much at this distance. If I put the meter up near the device, you'll see I'm getting about up to 14,000 microwatts per square meter. Of course, that's fluctuating between about 2,000 and 14,000, which right next to the meter is significantly lower than what I normally get. And what I'm really happy about is that I'm maybe 1.5 to 2 feet from it, and I'm not really picking up much. So that's pretty good. So let's go into the baby's room and see what kind of readings we're getting in there. Okay, so let's take a look at what the background levels are in here before we bring the unit in to test. So I'm getting about 35 or so microwatts per square meter. that I got to spike up to 84. So 35 to 84. So that's going to be our background level. All right, now I'm going to stop the podcast. This is the phone. All the antennas are turned off, so we're not getting any interference from that. So here is the unit that would be next to your baby. And so I can hear that, as you can hear. The levels I'm getting are not that elevated, but I can certainly hear it. So if I go up to the unit, somewhat similar to the parent device, I'm getting about the same, 14,000 microwatts per square meter or so. But if I stand away from it, I'm at about 170 to 230 microwatts per square meter. So a little bit elevated compared to background levels, but at a good enough distance. Let me reset this. Yeah, I mean, we are picking up a little, but again, compared to the units that I normally test, this is substantially lower, much, much lower. Like I said, I will get up to in the hundreds of thousands. And so if you had this unit a few feet from where your child was sleeping, the frequency exposure, the radio frequency exposure that you're going to get is pretty minimal. Okay, another really important thing to note is that you can actually put this into a zero emissions mode. So this leaf icon will tell you that it's in actually this zero emissions mode. It was actually a little bit challenging for me to figure out, but when you hold this gear icon and you put this leaf shows up and it's on, that means it's in zero emissions mode. And so I did actually test it and was getting no emissions, which is pretty amazing. I can't demonstrate that now because if I'm talking, I can't demonstrate it with my meter, rather, because if I'm talking, then it emits. So it's a little bit tricky to show you. I actually did have to call the company to get this to work because even in the zero emissions mode, I was still actually getting a signal. I had to do a factory reset. So I do recommend that you have a meter to confirm that it's actually working. But the fact that this unit has the ability to be in zero emissions mode when there is no movement or noise is pretty outstanding. So if you do need a baby monitor for various reasons, I would say that this is probably definitely one of your better options because the emissions are so low. It is still there, but probably 95% lower than what I normally see at a distance. Of course, you're not going to put either of these units right next to you, right next to your infant, a couple of feet away. Yeah, it's pretty good. So I would recommend this if you're someone that needs a monitor or even an adult monitor for someone in your house, for an elderly person or a person that's got a chronic illness. This can work with enough distance. I will leave a link to this below so that you can go grab that if you're interested. And yeah, I'm impressed. I think that this is a pretty good option. So thanks for watching, everybody. Comments, questions, concerns, as always, leave them below. Always happy to talk with you. Don't forget to do all the things. Hit the bell so that you know when I put out a new video, and subscribe because that really helps out the channel. Okay, thanks everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.